I mean, they got all their makeup
From
tips
her,
for
yeah.
crying out loud. So Pat Robertson is 91 today. James Patterson, the author, he wrote Along Came a Spider, Kiss the Girls, to name a few. He is 74.
I think he wrote a book, and in one of the books, he had a character named Preston Elliott,
He
right?
did,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Somebody had pointed that out,
Yeah.
and then I think we tried to reach out to him, and then we got crickets back. So.
He's obviously a huge fan.
He's huge.
His new book is called No Sad Bro.
So happy birthday to James Patterson.
The Gadzooks story.
Nick, actor Cole Hauser,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
who in Good Will Hunting played Billy,
Yes.
who's one of the collective, one of his buddies.
There's a scene where they're at the bar, him and Will and Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck, and he doesn't say a word because he's mostly passed out the entire scene.
Yep.
Fantastic.
His dad is a famous character actor.
Oh, really?
Wings Hauser, I think his name is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not familiar. I'm sure I would be if I
you
saw
saw
some
him.
of the roles.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused, School Ties, bunch of other roles for Cole Hauser. He's 46. Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, he's
very
great.
talented actor, comedian. And a big birthday for him today. He is celebrating his 50th birthday. Constance Wu.
Love her.
From Fresh Off the Boat and Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, she's stunning.
I dig that movie.
I love
Anytime it's on, I will watch it.
Me too.
First off, it appeals to my lifestyles of the rich and the famous thing.
Seeing
and then,
how that half lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Super duper wealthy.
And then the cast is funny. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good. It's a good movie.
Yep. So she turns 39 today. And then Nick shared with me this last birthday, and I think we've mentioned him before. He is involved in the world of swimming, Nick, Olympic swimming.
Yeah, he was a swimming champion, and now he's in Canadian politics.
His name is Dick Pound.
Dick.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And Dick Pound is 79 years old today. Oh, yeah. So happy birthday to all the Dicks.
Yeah.
And especially
Keep pounding.
Dick Pound. Go ahead. Pound away, Dick. He is 79 today. All right, let's see if we can get an answer to the stupid question. What landmark is located at the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial? And I will go to our first caller in, and it was Kyle. Hey, Kyle, good morning.
Morning, fellas. I love Dick Pound.
Who doesn't?
Big Dick Pound fan.
Kyle, what landmark is located at the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial?
The St. Louis Arch.
Yeah. Hold on, bud. Kyle, you got it right. We are going to give you, sir, a digital download of Wonder Woman 1984. A new era of wonder begins as Wonder Woman faces her greatest foes yet. And you can look for it on 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. So hang on the line.
It was upgraded to a national park a few years ago. The whole thing is still the Memorial, Preston, but I believe it's the smallest national park in the entire country.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still
it's
haven't
tiny.
been there. I got to get there.
And actually, I think it may have been a national park for a little bit longer, Nick, because a guy that I went to high school with got busted doing cocaine in the arch in one of the
In the
and he
arch.
faced
It's a federal
charges because he was on a national.
Dude.
In your time there, how many times did you
Bill
go?
Jeffries.
How many times did you go up in the arch when you were there?
I don't know. I probably went up 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Not a whole ton, but enough to get. It's cool.
It's cool.
Pretty wild because
Yeah.
unlike buildings, there's nothing below you. When you're in the middle at the top and you're looking down, there's no base below you that you see. It's off to the sides.
It's a freaking arch.
Really weird sensation. So. All right, anyhow, let's dive into some of the entertainment stories. First off, at the box office this weekend, Raya and the Last Dragon was number one, and it made $5.2 million.
I still have to see that.
We'll have to see how those numbers start bumping up a little bit because AMC opened back up.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry was second. Then you had The Courier, Chaos Walking, The Croods, still at number 5. Boogie was number 6. Then you had The Marksman, Wonder Woman 1984, The Father, and The Little Things to round out the top 10. We'll start off with a little bit on the royal family. Prince Harry reaching out to children who have suffered the loss of a parent. The Duke of Sussex wrote a heartbreaking foreword to a book for children who are grieving a parent amid COVID-19.
Well, he'd know about that.
Yes, he does. Yes, the hospital by the Hill reveals how he struggled to accept the death of his mother, Princess Diana. He was only 12. And how he hopes that the book will provide comfort in knowing you are not alone. He said, when I was a young boy, I lost my mom. At the time, I didn't want to believe it or accept it, and it left a huge hole inside of me. And I know how you feel, and I want to assure you that over time, the hole will be filled with so much love and support. We all cope with loss in a different way, But when a parent goes to heaven, I was told their spirit, their love, and their memories of them do not. They are always with you, and you can hold on to them forever. I find this to be true, he said.
You know who was actually really good for them is Camilla Parker Bowles. Both William and Harry, and it may seem an odd thing that, the guy who ended up with your dad, the woman, I should say, ended up with your dad. But, she was very maternal to them without trying to replace Diana.
He adds in the forward now, I never met them, but I know this person was special to you, and they were someone incredibly kind, caring, and loving because of where they chose to work. Helping others is one of the most important jobs anyone can ever do. You may feel alone, you may feel sad, you may feel angry, you may feel bad. This feeling will pass. And I promise to you, you will feel better and stronger once you're ready to talk about how it makes you feel. Harry has previously spoken about how burying himself in his grief was one of the worst things he could do. And his brother, William, urged him to seek professional help when he was 28. And he says it made a huge difference. Now, Prince Charles, Harry's father, of course, took the lead in crisis talks between Meghan and Harry and the rest of the royals following the historic interview with Oprah Winfrey. Royal expert Robert Jobson said the Queen is 94, the Duke of Edinburgh is incapacitated, so he will be trying to placate and learn lessons from this so something can be worked out to everyone's satisfaction.
I can't find the bathroom.
He said the royal family like to do things as a team, and if the team is being trashed, they like to react as a unit and a family. The Queen said of the racism allegations the pair had raised, whilst some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately.
Sorry, Tennessee.
She has reportedly hired a diversity czar to engage in listen and learn exercise in which the royals will seek independent views on how it can improve diversity efforts encompassing minorities and the LGBT community, the source had said. And the source, a different source said, this is an issue which has been taken very seriously across the households. We have the policies, procedures, and programs in place, but we haven't seen the progress. We would like to accept more needs to be done. So they say that they are looking further into that.
Doing what they can do.
Absolutely. CBS extended the talk's unplanned hiatus. According to reports, the show is investigating allegations made against co-host Sharon Osbourne.
They're killing me. I live for that show.
I know you do, Steve. Hang in there, man. Hang in there. She's been accused of some racist behavior by former co-hosts.
It's not on!
The show was set to return on March 22nd, but has been pushed another week.
I wanted to hear what the ladies had to say about Godzilla, Kong versus Godzilla. What is it, Godzilla versus King Kong?
A spokesperson for the network said everyone is in limbo and wants this to be over. There's still no clear understanding of what the outcome is going to be. They have to thoroughly look into all of this stuff. There's a lot of new leadership, and they don't want to repeat the days of Les Moonves, where things were often ignored and let go.
I'll tell you what, that show is like Meet the Press compared to The Real. You ever watch The Real?
Dude, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's on. So after we're finished with the show, and I go back to cut the promo, it's on, and I mean, it is. Kathy, you'll come in, and I'll always joke how it's my favorite show. But I mean, it makes the talk look like Meet the Press.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's on The Real? Anybody I would know?
You might have known they're the kind of pop culture influencer kind of. The demo's got to be young women, 18, 25.
I'm familiar there's a show.
Yeah.
But I just,
I mean, for God's sakes, it's unbelievable.
It doesn't speak to me. All right, how about this? An intruder took advantage of the scandal and lawsuit cursed superstar Johnny Depp's digs in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the invader reportedly sampled his bars, copious wares, and even took a shower while he was there.
This is an itridge.
The partier must have encountered a rich array of options. At the height of his fame, Johnny reportedly spent about $30,000 a month on wine alone.
Didn't he have his own vineyard?
I don't know about that.
Like in France, he in Parasol or whatever his ex-wife's name was. They had a... they had a vineyard in France.
Okay, I wouldn't doubt it.
What's he paying all that money for booze for?
The intruder was not identified and was in the shower when police arrived. And they kicked down the bathroom door when he refused to come out. The freshly showered intruder was booked for felony vandalism because the door had to be kicked in.
You better live. I got a bispo bet.
Neighbors who saw the apparently homeless man hanging around the place.
They probably thought Johnny was the homeless man.
They alerted police to the issue. Right? How would they tell the difference?
Hey, you!
If it wasn't Johnny, just one of his buddies. Yeah. Excuse me?
I live here.
You live here.
From the sky, this house of his looks like Hogwarts. It
looks like a castle.
It's
got turrets.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. And it looks like, Preston, there's a round dome window.
Yeah, almost
in the mid house.
Almost looks like an observatory or something like that.
It's insane.
His observatory.
Yeah. So look at the planets.
You have a telescope, John?
Yeah, it's a telescope.
So, yeah, dude broke in, took a shower. They busted him. I guess Johnny's out of town right now, so maybe they noted that. You know, when there's these high-profile cases going on, it's pretty easy to find out that somebody's not home.
Oh, and they do.
And you can
they do
come and loiter for a while.
And in fact, it amazes me even at this point, so many years into this and having so many celebrity homes broken into. It's like, what do you pay?
Security.
What's your security?
Yeah. All right, how about this story? Suzanne Summers has opened up once again about her flourishing sex life with her husband, Alan Hamill, sharing that the couple are as randy as ever. The Three's Company star revealed that because of hormones, the pair have been having a lot of sex as of late.
Like, too much.
She said, at this stage of life, most people think it's, over the hill, too much information. But she said, and this was she was on a podcast being asked about this. She said, but what time is it? Like noon? I've had sex with him 3 times so far today.
That's too much.
She said, what is it, about 4:30 in the morning that suddenly there he is? I'm going, could you just wait until the sun comes up? By the way, she's 74, he's 84. 84 years old.
Banging 3 times before lunch?
And they've been married since 19...
Has anything snapped off yet?
They've been married since 1977. Jeez. And they go out at this level.
At this point, they'll be too tired to make it over to the Regal Beagle.
She said, God, our relationship has always been amazing. Yeah. But now that our kids are raised and it's just me and Al, and we paid for the tuition, we paid for the wedding and helped them get their start, now it's just us. Man, are we having fun, she says. Man, are we banging all over the house.
Aren't you going to chafe up? Aren't you going to pull something eventually?
But by the way, but she says, but now that our kids are raised and it's just me and Al, their kids have been raised and out of the house for 25 years.
Preston, their youngest is 51.
Yeah. Wow. So Summer spoke to Page 6 last year about the pair's love life when isolated due to the pandemic, telling us at the time, I have a husband who I inject every Tuesday with testosterone, and Wednesday's a very good day.
Is that under medical supervision?
She said, we have found a way. I would assume so.
You would hope, but who knows?
She said, my girlfriends go, you do not have sex twice a day. It's no forced march, she continued. Huh. I'm in the mood, he's in the mood. Sometimes it's once a day. Sometimes later in the day, you're in the mood again because what are you going to do during the pandemic?
Yeah.
So they're having
Especially if Matlock's not on.
They are having at it. So I say rock on, man.
Yes.
If you can do that and you're loving it at that age, then the world is your oyster.
Just don't make me watch.
Yeah, please, whatever you do, don't make us watch that. The director of Mrs. Doubtfire confirmed the existence of an R-rated version of the beloved 1993 family film, but added that the version of the movie will likely never be released. Earlier this week, a Twitter account that unearths movie facts noted how that there were PG, PG-13, R, and NC-17 cuts of the film due to Robin Williams' penchant for improvising during the production.
Who directed it again, Preston, did you say?
It was Chris Columbus.
Chris Columbus, okay.
So it was soon after the social media was ablaze with demands to release the NC-17 cut of the film that Chris Columbus spoke up. He had previously joked, revealing when he told Entertainment Weekly Friday that there is an R-rated cut. There is no NC-17 version of the film. But he said the reality is that there was a deal between Robin and myself, which was he'd do 1 or 2, 3 scripted takes, and then he would say, let me play. And he would basically go on anywhere between 15 to 22 takes. He said, I think 22 being the most I remembered. And he would sometimes go into territory that wouldn't be appropriate for a PG-13 movie, but certainly appropriate and hilariously funny for an R-rated film.
So is there going to be a hashtag release the Columbus cut?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to do that. But I could easily see that. There's like a scene at the near the end of the film when they're having dinner and he's going, oh, she's got the crabs and I don't mean Dungeness and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
that totally sounds like Robin Williams riffing.
Right,
And just
right.
throwing a bunch of lines out there. And I could see him completely having at it and then they just taking the best stuff. So he said sometimes he would go into territory that wouldn't be appropriate for a PG-13, but certainly appropriate and hilariously funny for an R-rated film. And it says in this particular story, Steve, however, unlike Zack Snyder's Justice League, don't expect a Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire to ever see release. Columbus said that he would only release some of the material if a documentary about the film was produced.
How about hashtag edit Doubtfire into the Snyder cut?
You could do that. I said, I only know what's in the movie at this point because it's been a long time, but I do remember it was outrageously funny material. He added that a documentary would be the best approach for the unseen material.
If you're an actor and you're working and he's going out 25, 30 takes, you're like, that's great. Can we wrap it up?
Yeah, it's dinner time now.
Yeah, let's go.
Sandra Oh is standing with the Asian community. She made a speech during the Stop Asian Hate rally, which was in Pittsburgh on Saturday, to discuss the surge in hate crimes against Asian Americans. She had said, for many of us in our community, this is the first time that we are even able to voice our fear and our anger, and I really am so grateful to everyone willing to listen. O said in a video posted on social media, one thing that I know is that many in our community are very scared, and I understand that. And one way to go through our fear is to reach out to our community.
Was she filming in Pittsburgh?
That's what I was curious about. I don't know if she's from Pittsburgh or not, or why she happened to be there. But they do a fair amount of movies in Pittsburgh. So.
Maybe she was looking for to purchase a basement toilet because Pittsburgh has a lot of them.
That's right.
You just put in the middle of your
Yeah, just set out in the middle of your unfinished basement, no walls or anything.
What if that becomes all the rage in in the Hollywood set, Preston? If like Calabasas, that's the thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if something stupid like that took off.
Kendall's basement toilet and a poop knife made by Fendi. Right,
Fendi?
a Fendi poop knife.
Sources tell E! Entertainment that Sophia Richie is sick of hearing about ex Scott Disick.
So sick of hearing about Disick.
Sophia and Scott have to navigate many issues together throughout their relationship, the source said. It was no secret that they had their ups and downs when it came to Courtney.
I watched a video of him talking with Courtney and explaining about why he's not with Sophia. I don't know why I did, but I did, just to say, am I remembering the douchebag level at what I thought it was at? It was 10 times worse. I don't get what the Scott Disick attraction is. And I defy any woman to tell me what is it about this guy that makes him such a prize.
I only know of his douchebaggery from you guys.
Yeah.
You and Casey are aware of
Listen,
what a
he's
D-bag is. I've never watched that show, so I don't know. But I'm taking your word because I believe you.
He's an attractive guy.
Not
really.
that much.
Again, he's another person that presents himself. You know, he can
confident.
dress up and he's confident.
Yeah.
And he can look nice, but he totally has that douchebag personality.
And he has a douchebag voice and a douchebag delivery.
Does he wear douchebag clothes or is he wear nice?
No,
clothes?
the clothes are okay.
It's just him in general. I told you, a friend of mine, when her husband pisses her off, she calls him Scott Disick. She's like, all right, Scott, have a good time on your trip. Like when he goes away or does something.
All right, so it says here, once Courtney and Scott became closer and were spending more time together with the kids, Sophia had a huge issue with it. She thought she was losing him to Courtney and was jealous at times. Oh, my goodness.
So jealous.
She was also embarrassed that he discussed her insecurities on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They had Sophia is not surprised that Scott shared their relationship issues with the Kardashian family and publicly on the show.
That must be what I was watching then. I was watching an upcoming clip of this show.
She wished it stayed private, but knew it would happen when they split. Sophia has moved on and put the drama behind her.
Well, that's it. When people get involved with me, they don't realize they're going to be part of the show.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
At this point, there's no chance that they'll ever get back together, according to this source. Hey, Ryan Murphy has shared an eerie black and white video of the ocean and waves teasing the upcoming 10th season of American Horror Story.
Is it Surf Zombies?
No.
Oh.
The American Horror Story title will be Double Feature.
Double feature.
So this is, oh my God.
Oh my God.
The American Horror Story.
Rainbow. Oh my God.
American Horror Story 10 is Double Feature.
Double feature.
Yeah.
So are they trying to do kind of like a Grindhouse kind of thing? Where you
No. The clip says 2 horrifying stories, 1 season.
Okay.
So, and it says 1 by the sea, 1 by the sand.
2 great tastes that taste great together.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Your chocolate isn't
Yes.
my peanut butter.
The show is uneven, but when it's on its mark, and when it has more fun with this stuff, it's great.
So they are moving with this title, Double
Feature.
It has to do with 1 by the sea, 1 by the sand. Oh! Yeah, so...
Aren't they both by each other then?
More to come.
If one's by the sea,
right?
they're they're right next to each other.
The sand is
Yeah.
right by the sea and kind of part of the sea.
It's terrible.
I had a sandbox as a kid, and it really wasn't too close to the water.
All right, so it could be in a sandbox. All right.
Okay, I didn't think
But
about
what's so
that.
scary about a sandbox?
Well...
Cat food.
Ah,
Sand-dwelling creatures. Or it's sand people.
We're the sand people.
Yeah. Michelle Mootready has been arrested and charged with stalking and harassing Pete Davidson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one who was claiming they were engaged.
Yeah, so the 24-year-old allegedly entered his Staten Island home uninvited. She's also the same person listed as his partner and wife in a new business venture.
Doesn't he lives at home with his parents, doesn't he?
His mom. His dad passed away.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, his stepdad's Bill Burr. I saw a movie.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know what the story is on. I remember that story of her listing him in this business venture and it being a bunch of crap, but I guess she was at his house or she went into the home.
Yikes.
So
Yeah, he lives in a
dude.
like a residential Staten Island
standard
home.
neighborhood?
Yeah.
So it must be pretty easy to access, and she got in there. All right, and then one last story. I'm a little shy on entertainment news
We'll
today.
say it slowly.
HBO is developing 3 more Game of Thrones prequel projects.
All right, is that
including-
good or is that bad?
For me, I was thinking about this morning. I need me some more Game of Thrones. I'm ready for this, and I think there's been enough of a break to where it is. I had Game of Thrones overload, and now I'm ready again. I'm all set. Now I don't know how the world is, if the world is ready or not, but I personally want more of this story. I was even thinking about going back and having at it again.
How many times have you watched it?
I've watched it twice, all the way through. That's, 8 seasons?
Yeah.
It's a lot of TV.
So would you prefer to see a sequel, a prequel, a quill?
I love the idea of a prequel. I think it's cool. So there's 3 of them. One is titled 9 Voyages, and that's from Bruno Heller. And another about the founder of Dorne, and that is dubbed 10,000 Ships. And the third is set in the King's Landing slum called Flea Bottom.
Flea Bottom?
Yeah. So that's where they're going to go.
He never finished the books, right?
No.
And does it matter at this point?
I think there's supposed to be 2 more.
That's what I thought as well.
I bailed on him. I got enough of the story from the show.
Which he kind of signed off on.
He did, and it departed. It went in a slight different direction, but my interest, I read 5 of the books, and my interest in going back to that world again it has waned because it's so damn detailed oriented, and there's so much stuff that I've forgotten after I've read, and it would be a Herculean chore to
How
go
much of a
back to
departure? Because I understand in the books they open up a ski school.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
it
yeah.
takes a wide departure.
It matters to me, Nick, because it's not his vision, it's not his story.
But are you going to read the books, or are you just going to watch a TV show?
Well, regardless.
Well, I guess my point is, like,
What's it going to be, boy?
if he's going to, if he's just going to do the TV shows, he can pour his creative energy into that, and not the books. And so, that's why I'm saying, if it matters or not, why not just have George R.R. Martin focus on these prequels?
Yeah, I'm not sure how involved he's going to be in these, to be honest. So, anyhow,
Good question. What if he passes? I mean, and this is what some people have said. He's not in wonderful health.
Honestly, it's part of the reason why he gave them the go-ahead on HBO in case he wasn't able to. He told them what his ideas were,
and they sort of
took their own, creative license with that. But you're right. Yeah. What if he kicks? I would imagine he's got some stuff written down. I don't know as far as general direction goes, but who knows? So they join House of Dragon, which is going to be the other one, which begins filming in the UK in April, so very, very soon. And it stars Olivia Cook, Emmy Darcy, Patty Considine, and Matt Smith, to name a few.
Oh, Matt Smith from The Crown. He's Prince Philip in the first few seasons.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
The one with the dragon.
Yeah.
Wait, in the first season?
Yeah, right? The younger Prince Philip.
Yeah, who was, he also played Doctor Who at one point,
Yes,
right?
he did.
Did he?
You're
Okay.
exactly right.
Okay,
Because
that's
I know my Who and I know my crown.
That's the man.
His name's not Matt Crown, which is what I just looked
No,
up.
Matt Smith.
Smith, yes.
There is a rule in England that you have to adopt as your last name the show you're on.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I was
yeah.
not aware of that.
Just ask Lonnie Benny Hill.
Okay. All right, we're ready for clips now, guys. After being framed for his sister's murder, Alex is hell-bent on exacting revenge and finding the real culprit in Who Killed Sarah. In this clip, star Manolo Cardona talks about how his character changed after that tragedy. Here we go.
This is a very interesting and complicated character. I mean, the one from the past is charismatic, lovely kind of guy. And then suddenly this tragedy happened, and he became another person.
Who Killed Sarah premieres this Wednesday, and that's on Netflix. And here's the next clip. Best friends take a road trip from Florida to New York City so one can declare his love for his high school crush in hidden camera comedy film Bad Trip. And in this clip, star Eric Andre talks about what it was like to mix it up on the set with Lil Rel. Here we go.
My character is so high energy and crazy, and his character was kind of like nervous, nebbishy, kind of in his shell, and he had to learn to how to come out of his shell. It was that great, iconic, classic buddy duo chemistry that worked so well.
That's so funny I forgot to laugh.
Bad Trip premieres this Friday, and you will find that on Netflix.
I like him. He's a funny guy there, Eric Andre.
That is what I have for you in the entertainment report this morning, and it is indeed a Monday in all its Monday glory. In case you haven't heard, we have a new Word of the Week prize. It's the same Word of the Week prize, which is a great one, $500 to give away. So the first letter coming at the end of the program. So hang out with us, if you will, please. We're also going to have on the program Bradley Constant. He is the actor who plays the 15-year-old version of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on Young Rock.
Yes, it's pretty wild. I didn't realize, Preston. I thought that they had the same actor playing because they've matched the way they look so well.
Really?
That it's a different actor playing 15 and then the actor playing 18, 19.
Nice. So we'll get him on in the 9 o'clock hour. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. Sun's coming up. We're going to have a nice day in store for us. We'll be back in just a moment. Make sure you stay close. have said, "Hey, I'll come over and help you out," but
I would have said no.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want
Preston,
to
you were eating a sandwich. You didn't.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
busy.
actually, I had a migraine headache over the weekend, so that didn't.
If you have a migraine and you lay outside in the sun and everything, is it better or is it worse?
It's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, inside, cold, all the lights
Darkness,
off. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Steve, I started digging this trench because I'm going to grab these 4x and create a base, and then I think right after I talk to Preston, I start doing this YouTubing. I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to do this? And then I went over to my neighbor's house, and they don't even have a base for their shed. They just threw some rocks down. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here.
You put a base. You should put a base down on it.
You know, well, these guys didn't, and they have a nice big shed, and they're fine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Call someone. I mean, like, I'm in the same boat as you, Casey. I look at it long enough. I'm like, I need help.
Talk to a priest.
Or a professional.
Yeah.
What have I done in the years that I've been in the clergy? I've seen all sorts of sheds, and some sheds have bases and some don't. And life in a way is like that. Some of us are grounded in the base below us, and some of us just stand on rocks. Leave me alone.
Well, I went to the hardware store yesterday to get, I was going to get 6x, right? 6x6s to create this thing.
6x, 8x, whatever it takes.
Right. So I go there, and these 6x are A, huge, B, heavy. I was like, I don't know if I need this.
If I may jump in here to this point, and I had this conversation about when we went over to the shooting range in King of Prussia, King Shooters, and they were great. Dr. Mike and I, and so there are some things I think that guys will default to acting like they know about when they don't really know.
Yeah. Sure.
And like I remember ordering lumber to do something in my garage and build something. And what I went there written on a piece of paper with and showed the guy, he looked at me and says, is that what you want? And then when he showed me what I was asking for, I was basically asking for the St. Louis Arch Preston size. But you know, it's the kind of thing where you don't. Am I going to look like I don't know? It's okay to look like you don't know what you are professing to know. It's okay to be a neophyte when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we assume we should know it, and sometimes we make the mistake of just going for it when we don't.
Oh, it's like when you have car trouble. And you open up the hood of the car.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you look in there?
I put a quart of oil in my glove compartment.
What are you going to do? Let me open this up. And then it's open, and you go, okay, now what?
Now what?
Oh, I see what the problem is. Some leaves here.
Right.
When I went to the store, I needed a trailer to get. You know what I mean? I was like, put both down in the car before I left. I was like, the seats down, and then at a hardware, I was like, oh, I need an 18-wheeler to get what I think I need.
I moved the car deodorizer too. Yeah, I know. It's because you think, how hard can it? It's very hard.
It's all in the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Folks. Happiness comes with a price. I did see a story that according to U.S. University, the researchers found that you need to make $105,000 or nearly $36,000 more than the country's median household income to be a happy person. The scientists say that this is the amount of money it takes to reach the state where increases in income no longer produce meaningful benefits to happiness. The good news is that the happiness doesn't require obscene wealth. The bad news is that a lot of happy countries need to be doing better than average when it comes to income.
I think, again, I had these conversations that are similar, and I believe that money isn't the happiness that will detract from happiness.
Exactly. So I think there's a financial happiness.
Right.
I mean,
alcohol.
Opposed to like a spiritual happiness or so on. I mean, you need to be able to provide and then you can have a little bit of happiness. I'll go to this call here in just a second. I see that up there. We want Casey to. It's the most in New York City,
of course,
Honolulu, and Bern, Switzerland.
I've been to Bern.
Have you?
Got a great zoo.
Yeah, they do.
That's why everybody's so happy.
You gotta feel the burn dirt.
Oh, I should have. But, they have 3 types of bears.
The least expensive places.
One's pretending.
Least expensive places to find happiness are Panama, Antigua, Costa Rica, and Mexico.
Seriously?
Yes.
It's all our happy countries.
Least expensive place to find happiness.
Well, hotels keep you happy down there.
Each has a happiness index between $16,000 and $8,000. In Europe, Portugal has the lowest happiness index, under $7,000. By
Gotcha.
how much money you should
need.
technically be happy.
I always said this. I'm always happy when I have a well-anchored shed.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Yes.
When my shed is resting,
okay.
No, it's not going to be blown over.
Hi, Mario, you're on Shed Talk this morning on the Preston and Steve Show. How you doing?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
Shed Talk.
Hey,
Instead of Shed Talks, Shed Talks.
Welcome.
Oh my God. The audience, like a Steve Jobs kind of guy in a like, how you root your shed into the ground is everything.
Oh God, this is.
Mario, your recommendations, Stacey.
All right.
Issue.
It depends on what you want to do, man. You just leave it on the ground, but you got to dig out the ground. You got to put your 6x6 or 4x4 what you want to do, and put with stone, level it, and then have your drop the shed off right on the pad. And what that does is allow for drainage underneath of your shed, and so that little pest groundhogs don't dig there and make it all.
That's a good point. Yeah, you don't want those groundhogs boring a hole to the bottom of your shed.
Okay.
Your neighbor, you said your neighbor got them on rocks or whatever you said.
Yeah, he's got rock, and then he's got a couple 4x4s, and the shed goes on top of the 4x4s, which are on top of the
That's hot.
Yeah, so the stones are acting like footers, and the 4x4s are acting like just a air gap. You know what I mean? Like, do that if you want, or you could just put it on a gravel pad.
Be reckless.
Going to.
Okay.
All right.
Totally up to you.
That's advice.
Thanks,
you.
Mary.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on Shed Talk.
Hey, no problem.
All right.
Call me next time.
We'll see you later. Getting back to happiness for a moment, it was in a completely different study that on the World Happiness Report has recently been released, and it states that Finland, Iceland, and Denmark are the happiest countries in the world. Sweden came in 6th place, and Norway came in 8th place. So it's all in kind of in this Scandinavian area.
Things like fruit.
Been to 2, 3, right? Finland, Denmark.
No, I've been to Norway and Sweden. So I've been, and I did visit Finland briefly.
But you did it.
Yeah, I did. In
That's
fact,
not
when we had Chewbacca here, I was going on about Norway, thinking that he was there and he was actually Finland.
All right.
I've been to 4 of those places. Now you've been to Iceland. It's a place I want to go.
Yeah, it's a place. I know I could live there because there's no trees and it's cold a lot of
and it's dark for
it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the drone footage? The volcano?
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Uh-huh.
There's a volcano that is now first time in I think 600 years.
Yeah.
There's lava flowing out of it. It's not erupting. Lava is flowing out of it.
Cool.
So people are heading toward the lava stream.
Well,
Kathy,
I mean,
that piqued interest. Would you to see a volcano in?
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Yeah.
it's erupting. The drone follows the lava flow all the way to the top, and
I think Steve means it's not booming.
Pyroclastic flows and things like that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's top like
just shooting its.
Yeah.
Birds and squirting. It's a squirting volcano. You need a bucket and a mop. By the way, we'll put your clip here, Steve, of WP. Finland's death rate. So here are the details. Finland's death rate from COVID-19 is lowest in the European Union, and the country scored high in the categories of freedom, health, lifestyle, and social solidarity. New Zealand also made it in the top 10 happy countries. Yet another place I would love to go to.
Looks gorgeous. Just to visit, where they did the Lord of the Rings stuff, and of course, Hercules and Xena. They're all from Preston, and then obviously some history involved.
No, but they've also had a really great success in stopping the transmission of the virus, too. So that plays into this stuff. The United States came in 14th place, which is not too bad. While the UK came in 18th place, Zimbabwe came out at the bottom of the list in 95th place. Tanzania was 4th, Jordan was 23rd, and India took 92nd. These are the happiest places in the world.
On India's travel brochure, it's not Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And that's all you need to know.
We're not Zimbabwe. That's according to the World Happiness Report. Now, speaking of spurting and squirting, wet and all that stuff, Steve found a polka version of.
They took the live performance at the Grammys, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and somebody applied a polka beat to it. It's pretty funny.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch the video with it, because the stage is, very, very suggestive. You can imagine. But I'll play a little bit of this for you.
I stay certified 7 days a week. Ass, make that pull out game. Yeah, I wanna rock, I do a keep, running some spit in my eyes, look at my eyes, wet, come take a dive, time me like I'm surprised.
I like they're covered in a little honk.
What are you using, like a Nobo or what?
Well, I don't know. I think it's an actual little horn, little squeaky horn.
Play, I wear the guys, I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make it ass, macaroni in a pot, that's some wet ass.
I wonder if you were to go to like during Oktoberfest and bring that to a if you played, people would be paying attention.
I bet they'd love it. They would absolutely love it. So, right, let me see.
We know to be happy. We know to do the polka to the WAP song.
We do. Oh, and this is here. This is a tragic story. I have a couple of a little bit of a downers, but a tie-in. So part of being happy for me personally is spending time with my kids, and I'm planning on taking a trip with my daughter next week. And we had planned to go to Zion last year. It was after her 13th birthday, which when each one of my kids turns 13, I had the tradition to take them on a trip out west. We go spend a week together. It's just a little bonding time and a really way to see the country as well. We obviously didn't have COVID, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to now she's turning 14 months, so I want to do this before she turns 14. So we're going to take a driving trip. Now we're going to drive all the way out to Utah. Okay, so that's crazy. No, we're going to go to Maine. I had mentioned this before, and we're going to go to Acadia National Park. It's really not a good time of the season to go, but I want to go somewhere before she turns 14. So we're going to do that. So I saw a story this morning where the body found at Maine's Acadia National Park fell off a 100-foot-long ice-covered cliff on Door Mountain.
Over the weekend, because I went there last year, Preston, you've been talking about your trip. Apparently, it's mud season in Acadia now, and also the end of ice season, and it's not good.
Mud season.
Yeah, mud season.
Ice season. Mud season.
Ice season.
Mud season. Shoot.
It's not a good time for hiking, and these two people are examples of that. And
I know.
It sucks.
It's always good to, I know people, I'm just going to go hike. Heed the to you through the park system, and for example, they're screwing around, and countless stories of people who said, well, it didn't look that bad, and then they regret, the decision.
Now, I'm a novice hiker as far as, and we just dabble in the local park. I've hiked a little bit in Yellowstone and Jackson Hole. That was myself, but I never went on any challenging hikes. No better than to do that. But it's like when you go to a really big ski slope. You've skied the Poconos and things like that, and you go to Colorado and Utah, and you look at the map. You're like, yeah, I got that double black.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the same thing with hiking. I'm just only going to follow the really simple, easy hike.
Have a great time.
Yeah.
Any place that's accessible by a jazz scooter should be good.
Yes. That's my...
Look, I have a little fun for bagels and such.
But we're not going to tackle anything dangerous.
This is to bond with your daughter and have a good time.
Yeah. So, but
you're going to go crossbow?
I saw that story this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't tell her about that.
Well,
we'll freak her out.
Can you tell her in an amusing way?
Like a fun way? All right. Now, this is this other tragic story. This ties into you. I saw yesterday a gentleman by the name of Kent Taylor.
So sad.
The founder and CEO of Texas Roadhouse, which is kind of a family's restaurant, our go-to family meal restaurant. We haven't been in a while because of COVID, but it was our standard, like almost every Friday, go for dinner.
So I always, when you first started mentioning Texas Roadhouse, okay, that's a standard restaurant. It's a chain, right? And how is it wide?
Oh, yeah. There's 610 restaurants.
I had no
idea. So, and we love it because it's inexpensive, but it's made, the food is really good price you pay. So that's why we go. But anyhow, the guy, Ken Taylor, CEO, died. He was 65 years old. He took his own life.
Oh, jeez.
And saying after suffering from symptoms related to COVID-19, including severe tinnitus. So what I didn't know about COVID is that one of the things that can, if you have tinnitus, it can
exacerbate it,
make effects much, much worse.
That's
and apparently it drove him
to suicide.
Because he's, listen, for those who don't know, tinnitus is this ringing in the ears that you have. And I have it, and I've had it for a while now. It never goes away. It's permanent. I'm always going to have it. There's no cure for it at all. But apparently it became unbearable for this guy, and he took his own life. Entrepreneur.
Shows you, though, how...
Wow.
I mean, it's hard you try to explain to someone. So for what you have tinnitus, what is your second-to-second experience with tinnitus? How can you explain it to us who not suffer from it?
It's just a high-pitched frequency. Steve, like you might hear tones are used, see tones to test
right
and stuff like that.
And you hear it.
I hear it all the time, but it's really high up. It's super high-pitched frequency.
So you pay attention to it a lot?
Yeah. I mean, it's there. If it's quiet, clearly notice, especially so out in this beautiful wilderness, and it's quiet, and just hear snapping of a twig or just those nature. Most of those, because this squealing is going to be over.
Is it out?
That's I slip that on, but if you really want to enjoy peace and quiet nature, I'm never going to be able to experience that.
The rustling through the trees, that's not.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I really don't hear things in movies. And the first time I remember really noticing, not tinnitus, but noticing the absence of hearing this was watching the Mockingjay, the Hunger Games, and the birds out in the woods, the Mockingjays, had this whistle that she had learned. It was whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it at all.
Really?
Couldn't hear it at all.
Because it was right at the register of your tone.
Yeah. Like whistling sometimes in movies and things like that, I can't hear it.
Oh, man.
I'll turn to Rochelle and I'm like, can you hear that? She'll be like, yeah. I'm like, I don't hear it. I know I can see via the visual cues that I should be hearing something, but I'm hearing.
So he's so bad that drove to
I guess so bad he couldn't take it anymore. And how he's out taking his own life. But
are there any changes in this? I know that you talk about the ears, the commercial for that you do, that they're making really good inroads.
Yeah, but it's all studies and that need to be tested. And I believe I heard there's a thing where they actually they send electrical pulses through your tongue.
Like buckaroo bonds.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. They zap your tongue somehow or another, and it is supposed to mitigate the effect for an extended amount of time. And I think they come back and you have to go back for these. But these are being tested right now. So the thing is solidified,
Interesting.
But I was blown away. I didn't know that it can become so unbearable. It pushes somebody to that limit, and that COVID was responsible for causing it to get so bad. Which, man, you were telling me about your niece who has had this severe migraine for over 40 days and is basically can't do anything or go anywhere. And I immediately I thought about this story. This guy, there's some conditions that can push people to, I don't want deal with this anymore. It's terrible. To think about.
I know. And if you can, honestly, and I know it's hard to say when you're not in a position and you're suffering something like this. It's easy for me to say, but when you're there and you feel you have a way out. But again, as we always say, it is a permanent solution to a problem that can, at least in this case, maybe something could have been done to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Sure.
You feel horrible.
But the guy is the one who opened on 49 states, countries that you can find Texas House.
Do you know who's Tony Randall?
Yeah.
He had tinnitus.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. I think Pete Townsend only has. I think he has as well. Yeah. He say aids that can help filter it. That can help.
Have you ever tried?
No, I'm a dude. I need here.
And he just got the. You can't see them. They fit in here, and now basically he's a medic. I mean, it's unbelievable.
My dad hasn't, and it's funny he does not have because it's a day. But when he has them, and he can connect them to phone.
Yeah,
And so sometimes you'll call, doesn't quite connect right away, and like, all right, hang on.
Cyborg.
Yeah, and then he turns it on, and it's like a conversation with Dad 20 years ago. Wow. But when they're not on, you're talking to a deaf person.
Yeah.
My baby is deaf. She can only hear when she turns her hearing, the implant.
Oh, the cochlear implant.
Cochlear implant. Yeah, and at night, when she takes it out, she has to have an alarm clock that shakes her bed because she can't hear at all, and she only has one. She's I guess contemplating getting the second in the other ear because it is like a condition that sits on the back of her head or almost behind her.
So Rush Limbaugh, who passed away recently, he a setup that was basically like the bone headphones, where the headphones
sat
behind the ears, like your son.
Bone induction,
right?
Yep.
And those, to a certain extent. Wow.
Preston, how much does that affect your day-to-day conversation? A lot. Okay.
Oh yeah. I don't worry about you guys because you project when you speak. I mean, we broadcast. So Marissa, when she comes into work, sometimes I don't hear her.
What was that?
What about like Eric Simon, for example, wears a mask a lot, and I know it's hard for you to hear him. Understand? Eric's our promotions director.
More so high-pitched female voices like my daughter. I have to have her repeat stuff constantly. I feel bad having to ask about it.
It's like the commercial for the old guy and his father in the garage.
Right.
I love you, Bob. What'd you say? I love you, Bob. And then he says, I heard you the first time. I just wanted to hear it again. Quit screwing around.
Somebody had texted in that I was hesitant to say anything about it because I didn't know that this was common. But so I guess this person has tinnitus too. When you open your mouth really wide, pitch, the squealing gets really loud.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could,
if I go like that, does
it go up?
Yeah.
Really? If we listen to your mouth, come to the ocean?
Yeah, I think so. Casey, you want to get close?
Okay.
Like in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
If you were to have a squealing in your ears, you might go like this to try to stop it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that causes it to get worse in my.
Well, listen, these are things that
it's weird.
It sucks. Yeah.
When I ride my bike, the one thing is the wind in my ears.
Wind in my ears.
It gets annoying. When you're riding to the wind, it gets really loud. But he loves it.
He loves it
because if for his moment,
it's really
and ringing in his ears. Yeah.
So anyhow, the founder of Texas Roadhouse is so bad he his own life. That's a story. We can't end on.
We need a positive
something nice.
Triumph against all odds.
We're going to come back to the bizarre moment.